G'day, g'day, Mercenary Thorn here, and I'm just about to head into PAX. I've got my lovely beret, I've got the lovely shirt, I've got my lovely content creator badge, and I've even got a microphone, and I have no idea how well this is going to record. I'm already about 5 minutes late. They've already opened the door to media. I don't really know if I qualify under that, but I'm going to go in and have a look around and hopefully get some interesting footage. We shall see. Alright, let's get to it. Well, here I am inside. I've managed to get in during the media time for some bizarre reason. I think that my best bet during this quiet time, as you can see, there's not many people in here yet, will probably be to try and get into anything that's going to have massive lines, VR, stuff like that, because I'm going to be here all 3 days. I'll have plenty of time to look at the quieter stuff, so I think I'll get to it. So I just have to show this off. Look, they're trying to put me out of a job. This is terrible. So look at this. Security guards. I'm not going to have work anymore. I better hurry up and make this full time. Alright, so I just gave Star Wars Jedi Challenges a go. It's an augmented reality. So they've got a clever system where it's a mixture of a glass and a screen sitting above it. So you see a mixture of the actual game and real life. And I was just busy defending myself from Kylo Ren. So that was a little bit of fun. I'm really interested to see where this goes. It's one that's being made to work with smartphones. So alas, I don't think it's going to work for my Space Sims, but I can't have everything. Alright, on to the next. I found the streaming pods. Unfortunately, I didn't qualify to get to play with them. I'm not big enough, it seems. Maybe next year. So I've got about 20 minutes more exclusive media time before the crowds come in. I don't know how well you can see them over there in the distance. It's a little scary. So I'm just running around trying to see what do I want to try before the queues get too long. There's the creepy security guards trying to take my job again. Really don't like those creepy security guards. So yes, I'm mostly looking around for a VR or just anything that looks so awesome that I know it's going to have an insane queue later and I'll never be able to get a shot. By the way, I'm seeing a lot of these play seats around. I think that they're sponsoring a hell of a lot. The idea of trying to use something like that for a cockpit is pretty cool, but I think I am more inclined to try and do it myself. I mean, if I use standard car seat mounting, then, well, I can swap the seat over whenever I feel like. There's just way too much to see. I'm very glad that I'm going to be here all 3 days. I'm going to try and get as much information about everything as I possibly can. I saw someone else with an action cam. I'm not the only crazy one. More evil consoles. Although, to be fair, they actually have Elite Dangerous on them these days. So maybe I should go a little easier on the consoles. Nah. The bored security guard. I can relate. Normally at events like this, I'd probably be him. So we've only got a few minutes left before it opens up to the public, and everything gets very noisy and very busy. I'm kind of looking forward to it though, because it's going to, make the atmosphere that much nicer. As long as you don't actually want to use anything or record anything, because it's, going to be packed and noisy. Now, I haven't really looked into this section yet, mostly because I don't really think it's going to get so crowded that I can't do it later when the show opens up, but I will definitely be having a bit of a look around later. I've actually been getting into playing board games and card games and pretty much tabletop stuff lately. It's pretty crazy. Well, I found the main stage. I honestly haven't looked into what competitions are going to be running today, but if I get a little bit of downtime, I might try and check it out. I do like my esports, although mostly focused around StarCraft 2. There is, however, I noticed on the schedule, Brood War of all things. If I get the chance, I'm going to be checking out Brood War. I don't think it's going to be on the main stage, but I can dream. I think I've managed to cover everything that is going to have a rush on it as soon as the main doors open. No massive VR setups like I saw last year, which I never even bothered with. I could not be bothered lining up. Oh, there's some gaming monitors over there that I'm drooling over. By the way, PAX Rising, the indie development section this year, is massive. Just going through this area is probably going to take me most of my time at PAX. It's massive. There's so much of it, which is a good thing. I like seeing indie developers, particularly because I know a few of them are actually from Australia. Being patriotic. Throw a shrimp on the barbie, mate. I don't know if you can hear that, but they've just opened up the doors. It begins. Okay, so the doors are open and the crowds are starting to show up. So I'm probably just going to take a while to soak in the atmosphere and work out what I want to record next and what I want to check out. Man, I'm just not enthusiastic enough. I've got people literally running through the area to trying to get to stuff plays, and I'm just casually walking around. They're sprinting. There's going to be an accident. Oh, I'm about to go to my first panel. It's how to turn Twitch/YouTube into a full-time career. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon, but you can see the line's already starting to form for that. It should be an interesting one. Once I've watched it, I'll give you guys all a summary to see if there's actually anything interesting. Alright, so I just finished with the how to become full-time on Twitch or YouTube thing. The panel, well, to be honest, it was mostly just a panel on just good advice on trying to grow. I made a bunch of notes, so I might as well read through them. It's pretty much a summary for what was an hour-long thing. So, let me check. Alright, so... if you want to grow, the two things that were recommended is you need to be new or better. So you either need to have some unique content or you somehow need to do it better than the people already doing it. Pretty common sense. Consistency, which is honestly something I'm pretty bad at. Trying to improve on that one, but I completely agree. Being consistent, very important. You have to enjoy doing it. Yeah, I can agree with that one. And doing it as a hobby. That way, you know, whether or not you get big or not, you'll have fun, because the chances of getting big, let's face it, are pretty damn small, particularly to the point of actually going full-time. So actually enjoying it is a very good thing. So one of the questions asked was, if you've got 200 to spend on equipment, what would you do? Yeah, mostly it was just a good microphone. But honestly, you don't need to spend a huge amount on a microphone. This thing I'm using right now, $40. It's nothing that incredible. So yeah, just a semi-decent webcam, microphone. What else would you want? So if I was to spend $200, I'd budget for, you know, decent microphone, $40 range, good web camera, the famous Logitech, I can't even remember the name of it, but you know the one. And then lighting. Lighting's very important and pretty damn cheap. Just buying some cheap lights, going to the hardware store, getting a bunch of bulbs for them. Pretty easy. They mentioned using media, so Twitter, Discord, Instagram. Mentioned using good thumbnails to try and grab people's attention. So, you know, clickbait. Clickbait's very important. Now, this is something I actually need to work on myself. Keep innovating and changing content. Now, yeah, honestly, I've been doing the same thing for quite a while, so it's on my to-do list, attempting to, you know, innovate my content a little bit. I don't really plan on changing games, but that doesn't mean I can't focus on other areas of the games or other styles of content. The most important thing they mentioned, though, that someone has a Discord channel, which is food porn. So I've just realized I need to go home and make a channel for ship porn, and we can all post our awesome spaceships there. You know, very important stuff. Alright, so now I'm going to look forward to my next panel. I'm going to start wandering the show floor again. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so I just went to a panel. Are we having fun? Play games critically. It was a bunch of journalists and game developers, teachers, stuff like that. And of course it intrigued me because of, well, you know how much I love grinds. So they had, generally they didn't actually cover that as an area. Alright, I did actually get a chance to ask a question though, and so I did ask them how they balance grind and, well, making things too easy to reduce any challenge. And, you know, how they try and keep frustration to a minimum. And they actually said that frustration to them isn't necessarily a bad thing, and that actually has made me think about that for a while. I guess the trick is just not overdoing it to the point you get rid of fans. But then they also need to balance it, because, you know, there will be some people who can't stand any grind, some people who think practically any amount is too easy. It was an interesting one. It's certainly thought-provoking. Alright, what other points did they cover? They shared lots of little tricks that apparently game developers use to try and make games less frustrating to us. They're actually cheating in our favor. For example, on platformers, ledges apparently will sneak out a little bit further than it actually looks like it should, so that, you know, if you run too far and then jump, you'll be okay, as long as you don't run too far. But there's a little bit of leeway programmed in, which is bizarre. Another one is apparently in the latest BioShock, every bullet that hits you the first time misses, and it doesn't make much sense. But it's to give the player a chance to respond, so it's a very... I'm very amused by the way that works. I like this quote from one of them. Humans think things are fair when it's in their favor. Another little trick that was mentioned is, you know, when you've got a 50% chance to do something in games, the first time it'll normally be 50%. But then the next time, because, you know, a human being, if there's a 50% chance to win, you've done it once, you've lost, the second time you expect to get it. So apparently they increase the odds above 50% to help that. And then, like, the third time, you know, the chance to get it might be 90%. So they have to try and work for human expectations, which is bizarre. And the last little thing that was interesting, just from a balance point of view, sound matters. They were talking about a multiplayer game where two teams had identical weapons, you know, identical DPS, but one of the teams kept being more aggressive, and because of that kept winning, and they couldn't work out how or why. And they looked it up, and it just turned out that the sound of the weapon was more aggressive feeling, and so the team naturally was more aggressive, where the other one had a pew, I don't know, crappy sounding weapon. I don't actually know what the sound it made, but yeah, it just made them all defensive, and naturally they lost more. So it's just bizarre how many crazy little things I have to worry about when it comes to balance. So we're almost about to finish the first day, and I'm really glad I went to all three because I've got so much more I still need to do. So yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow. There's still some panels on after this showroom floor closes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. I need to go get some sleep because we've got CitizenCon tonight. Oh my God, that's on at 3 a.m. my time. This weekend is going to be rough. Alright, g'day. We're here for day 2. I'm showing up a good 30 minutes late because I needed to get as much sleep as I possibly could. I did manage to catch the keynote from the CitizenCon stream, though I need to catch up on the rest of it. I'm going to need a lot of coffee today, so I'm going to go back in. Today I want to actually try and interview a few people. I want to try out a few pieces of equipment. There was, it wasn't Space Sim, but it was a Flight Sim cockpit I saw yesterday I want to try. I also want to try one of the 240 hertz monitors, because I know I've went to a computer cafe, tried a 60 hertz, 120 hertz, and the difference there is easy to notice. So I'm curious if I can notice a 240 hertz difference. Anyway, time to go inside. And g'day. I've found the one and only thing relevant to space simming, a fun arcade game that I think I'm going to try playing on the stream for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. And we've got the creator right here, who I'm just asking to give me a quick little summary.
So this is Stardrift Nomads. It's a co-op tower defense game where you can play with 1 to 8 players all together defending your colony against pirates and asteroids that are coming at you. To do it, you have to build towers and defenses around your colony, as well as upgrade your ship with different abilities and skills to then push back any attack that's coming at.
Alright, cheers. Thanks for that, and I'll be sure to give it a go with you guys. I had the chance to give this flight simulator setup a quick try. It's using 2 Acer Predator Z65 gaming projectors, a Playseat gaming chair, and an X52 Cytec HOTAS. Of course, on the joystick, they had roll and yaw different from what I'm used to, so it was a nightmare to try and fly it, but it was still a lot of fun. Not sure if I would take this over a nice ultra-wide gaming monitor, though. I do want to try it again at some point. I also got the chance to try out the Asus 240Hz gaming monitors, and not surprisingly, it was incredibly smooth to play on. But I'm not sure the jump from 120 to 240Hz is worth the extra cost and the GPU power it requires. Says the guy still playing on 60 Hz. From here I ended up going to a lot of panels over the convention, but I haven't included any of the videos at the end, otherwise this video itself would be incredibly long. If you want to check out the videos though, they are on the Twitch PAX channels, and they should be there for about 10 days before they're deleted. The Seeking Sponsorships panel was an interesting one, as I thought about trying to get Razer to sponsor me at the same time as I plan to pull apart and mod the hell out of the Orb Weaver. I might reach out at some point, but that would be an interesting conversation. You have a great product and all, and I don't know a better gaming keypad, but I want to make it even better, so I tore it apart. But the panel was mostly about communication between the streamer, company, and viewers, so everyone knows what's going on. Also to avoid companies that try to sponsor streamers they know nothing about, or, for that matter, companies avoiding streamers who know nothing about them or their products. Equipment giveaways were also very popular, just throwing random stuff out into the crowd, as you can see. Funny enough though, everyone seemed to be rather well behaved about it. I didn't see any extreme fighting. Another panel I enjoyed was designing gear for gamers, even if the RGB jokes were every few minutes. But it was interesting hearing how a gaming laptop is made compared to a normal one. Little things like having ports in positions that won't interfere with a mouse on the right hand side. But I think my favourite is they apparently have to make the laptop chassis a lot stronger so that a raging gamer who slams his fists down into the laptop won't break it. The last panel I'm going to mention was how to run a charity stream in Australia. Lots of useful information, but it's actually convinced me to get in touch with Checkpoint. It's a charity organisation working on mental health and video game that's actually based in Australia, though of course their website can reach internationally. Hopefully I'll be running my first charity stream with them soon. I'm just waiting back on an email. Given that PAX Australia just finished, I'm guessing life is pretty hectic for them right now. And I never recorded an end of convention video at the con because frankly I was exhausted, and I got dragged out to a new esports bar in Melbourne I only found out about that day. GGEs. I'll definitely be checking that out again, hopefully when they're playing something other than League of Legends. I enjoyed the entire weekend though, and I can't wait to get back next year, though to be honest there was very little space sim related, but I still love pretty much everything gaming. I'm even looking at other Aussie conventions like RTX in Sydney next February. If you know of a convention or something I should check out, feel free to yell out. Most importantly, I'm really pumped to get back to working on content and have a massive list of stuff I want to do and improve. In fact, I'm going to wrap this up so I can get on to the next thing on the list. If there's anything in a convention video you want to see next time, yell out and let me know if there's something you think I should have focused more on. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll be on my stream tonight. Cheers and good hunting.